Good afternoon. Welcome to the Prime Real Estate Network podcast. I'm your host, Ric Davis. If you don't follow me on Instagram, I invite you to do so at Prime Real Estate Ric. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in residential or commercial real estate anywhere in the great state of Texas, but especially here in Houston, you can reach out to me directly on Instagram at Prime Real Estate Ric. I want to thank everybody in the audience for tuning in with us this week. My co-host, holding it down with us, man. Episode 190. Man. 190, man, is a most profound and successful real estate broker, multi-time author, serial entrepreneur, the proud proprietor of the Pure Hustle clothing brand that's now featuring royal blue Pure Hustle hats. It's the Texas real estate king, Mr. LarryWBrooks. What's going on, brother?
Hey, man, I can't complain about it. Things been good, Rick. You know, shaking out into the new year.
What's up with the new royal blue joint? Now that y'all done slid a whole new color.
I know, and I like the way it's popping with the white. You know what I mean? Like that's when I woke up and I put the gear together. I was like, you know what? This is a good pop to it.
Is this a Houston exclusive, or can we get this online?
Oh, we online. You know, it's football season. We trying to make sure we got everybody covered. You know, so with their favorite teams, we want them to have the colors for it.
See, you started it last week talking about your Texas high school football exploits. Yeah. So how's it been going with the team, man? How is your Texas high school football experience going after week one? Or is it week two?
It's week two.
Right.
Yeah, we're going into, this is week 3 now.
Right. So how's everything looking over there, man, with the Manville Peoples?
We 1-1. We did well. We ended up going down to Beaumont Central, which we got a lot of relationships down there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
One of our LBs graduated from them. And we went down there and we took a win. You know,
got to win out of people.
Got to win out of them. It was a good travel day. We went down there, took care of business, came back. Today we'll be at home. Tomorrow we'll be at home rocking Friday Night Lights, man.
Okay, so now you know I got to get some behind the scenes. Yeah. How's everything going with Lil L? Going through football season, you know what I'm saying? Balancing the school, the practice, and the games. How that's looking?
It's good, man. You know what I mean? He's a genius, and I'm not just saying that because I like the kid. You know what I mean? He's balancing A's and A's, really A's. You know, he got 1 B, but we balancing our grades out, and we hitting practice and we enjoying it. You know what I mean? They got homecoming this weekend, so you know he'll be participating in like the homecoming dance and stuff like that.
You know, it's super cool, and the reason why I ask you this type of stuff, especially while we're recording the podcast, is because it's amazing how your son is at that age now where he's starting to see the responsibility that comes with being a student and an athlete and balancing it all. And then I'm sure he has friends or knows some other kids at school who might not play sports, who get to go home right after school, and he's starting to see the difference and how that's helping him build up that sense of responsibility and time organization.
Yeah, and you know the thing is then you really as a child start to find out if you really got a passion for it, right?
Oh, wow,
because then you can either go home and be hanging out with everybody else, or you know, you can participate in this sport that's going to take so much of your time. So I see the passion in it because it never seems like it's a strain or a drain. He's excited to be a part of it, not missing a day, not missing a practice, not missing a moment of school. Right. Just like he wants to be on all the time. So I'm loving it.
So he buying into the program. They got T-shirts wearing all. They got the little T-shirts.
I even got shirts, man.
Oh, wait.
I bought something outside of Pure Hustle now.
You team dad now, man.
I'm Manville geared up. You know what I mean?
That's what's up, man. Yeah. Hey, man, good luck to all of the boys over there. You know, when it comes to football, all I do is really pray for health. Yeah. Let everybody go home the way they came. Yeah. And that's really all you can ask for. Everything else is just good, positive experiences, man.
No doubt about it, man.
You know, we always have, you know, Larry, man, it's the part of the show where you always give the viewers a little insight into what the Texas real estate king goes through to find these super duper talented and knowledgeable guests, some of the time commitments that we're asking for. So could you give our audience a little bit of the background of your relationship with this week's guest and what it took to get a commitment for this gentleman to sit in with us this week?
Yeah, you know, it's crazy, man, because this is one of those moments where you sometimes don't even see your movements and someone else sees it, and you can play a role in the growth that you can play a role in one of the moments that, you know, is pivotal to them.
Stick with it. Don't minimize it.
It's crazy, but my God, so like years ago, for those that don't know, years ago, I would put together events. And actually, back when you were living in L.A., Rick, you brought some guys, Mike Williams, when he was with, I think he was with, was with Seattle at the time. So he brought him in the act that he was into town. And so we rented out a space and had an event. And our guest today actually attended the event, young guy. And, you know, from what he's told me, he said that we were very instrumental in him taking a step to get into the game because of the way that we were moving at the time. And so it's really, for me, man, we've had a lot of guests on here, but it's an honor and a pleasure to have this gentleman on here because those are the type of things that when I got into real estate and as I was building out a career is what I wanted to do. I wanted to impact our culture to where we came in and we became big bosses. And come to find out, we had so many other relationships. So Houston is one of those cities that's like 2 degrees of separation, right? And so we had so many other relationships in contact. And man, we've done business together. He's done business with the brokerage firm. And just to see the impact that has had and who he is, the way he moved, man, I'm getting chills just talking about it, but this is my guy, man, and I am pleasure to have him on the show today, bro.
No, look, and without any further ado, I'd like to introduce this week's guest. This fine gentleman is at the forefront of real estate development and construction here in the Houston area. I would like to thank him for carving some time out of his schedule to sit in with us this week. I'd like to introduce to the Prime Real Estate Network audience, the owner and founder of Ferguson Solution LLC, Mr. Keith Ferguson. How you doing, brother? Appreciate you for sitting in with us.
Good afternoon, boss and boss.
Hey, look, man, look. It's funny because Larry was sharing that story, man, about the time that we all had a chance to interact with each other, man, and it just takes me back to a time because it just warms my heart that we can all continue to work together. That was more than 10 years ago.
These are what, maybe
you know what I'm saying?
08, 09.
Come on.
Like
and it's right. And it's cool because you seen Larry and I working together in that sphere. We still working together. We've been able to help you, have you come in with your organization. So thank you so much, man. First thing first, talk to our audience about Ferguson Solution LLC, some of the services you provide, and what makes you the foremost expert as far as real estate development and construction here in Houston.
So you got some of that answer in the introduction, but so first and foremost, Keith Ferguson, I grew up in construction, and what a lot of people already know is that some of your other previous guests, like the beautiful Miss Nicole Andy, that's my older cousin, when she went off the
shout out to the Braden Group.
Right, big Q, shout out.
Yeah, people get sick of us because we're everywhere, but
right,
you know,
already know.
I'm loving it. That's how
it is what it is. So you know, we always saw the value in real estate as a family, mainly because of our grandmother. So you start on one end of Homestead and go to the next, we all scattered through there. Wow. And we're a STEM family for the most part, so everybody's, you know, teachers, engineers. So we find that lane, and I luckily ended up at U of H for engineering, jumped into oil and gas because that's where everybody's at. But I saw the rent man showing up on the first every month, right?
Yeah.
And you know, most families, they spend all month making sure that they're ready for that first. I'm like, nah, I don't want to be the one paying. I kind of want to be the one on the receiving end. So I already had that kind of planning.
Come on now.
I just didn't know how it was going to look. And so that's kind of when it leads into meeting you guys. And it was like, first of all, the event was the penthouse of the Arena Theater.
It was pretty fire, man.
Oh, no, that was definitely a time, man.
That was the penthouse of the Arena Theater. Now, after that, I called to see what it cost to rent it. And when I found that out per night, like, nah, we gonna see whatever they doing. If you could party like this and then still get up and do what you got to do, we gonna figure that out. And that was the okay. I'm gonna pay attention.
It was like $3,000 a night just to drop that out.
3,500 plus tax per night. Per night. And like I said, that was in 0809.
Make the call, no doubt.
That was in 0809. So you know what I mean? But that's me, right? That's kind of how I ended up where I am. Man, I've done nothing special or unique. I just listen and pay attention.
Facts.
I was told as a youngster, you got 2 ears, 2 eyes, look and listen twice as much as you talk.
Damn,
so it's really that simple. So 2 dudes that I paid attention to and watched, you know what I'm saying? And my family and everybody else. I don't discredit nobody, which is why I told you, like, don't minimize it. Now, like, you was there for real. Like, you was there for real because I didn't know how it was going to go. But, you know, growing up in construction, I give my stepdad credit too. Even though I'm an engineer, him as a GC, that's how I learned about building.
Whoa. No, wait. Now, see, we can't gloss over that.
No, we're not.
So you are a classically educated engineer with a working GC in the family.
In the house.
Getting nothing but game. Taking advantage of their expertise.
That's it.
And experience.
Ain't no wisdom. Man, listen. It was. I can't pay these guys as much as they want to do this. We got to get this job done for the house to move.
Right.
So I'm a big fella. I'm not going up in that attic. Junior, you're going to have to go up in that attic, and I'm going to have to talk to you, and you're going to have to figure it out.
Yeah.
You got to get it in, Junior.
That's how we ended up going down the engineering lane, right?
Yeah.
When you sitting up and you in the attic and it's 102, and you got this panel open, you see these red, white, green, and yellow wires, and the dude that's been doing it, he went to Barbara Jordan.
Yeah.
For HVAC technician. That's what he does.
That's what's up.
And you know how that goes. When your daddy knows something and you figuring it out, it's a whole different breakdown in communication.
Yeah.
Through the attic, through a ladder, in Houston.
Cooking.
But I can't come down until that vent start blowing cold air.
No
Theory died.
Man, I love it.
Man,
No, but
you can't make this up, though.
Nah, that's real life.
Yeah.
So that gave me that hands-on experience. So then when I get to U of H and I'm studying, I'm also working through college, right?
Yeah.
So when I'm looking at a wiring diagram, it make a little bit more sense.
Yeah.
I'm working in the factory too, so when I'm looking at a welding drawing, it make a little bit more sense.
Yeah.
Everything is tangible, right? It's not just that classroom theory. It's that practical application that kind of put things together. I was able to do that for so long, practicing and studying at the same time. It just blended.
Yeah.
But I gotta ask you, Keith, because there's so many members of our audience, because there's so many gems that you've dropped in just this short amount of time. I have to go back to where you talked about your family being on one end of Homestead all the way to the other end of Homestead. Larry and I talk about areas like Homestead that are what they define as opportunity zones. And it's been so much transition as far as ownership of property, land, and houses around Homestead. For those that live in the area and have seen some of the available lots come on the market for sale, or have had people sending them letters about buying their properties, could you just give our audience a little insight as far as some things to keep in mind if they are looking to invest in that Homestead area as far as acquiring lots and or distressed properties?
Yeah, for sure. And it doesn't even have to be specific to the Homestead area.
Right.
But a term that we use in engineering and development that I never hear these gurus and these master classes talk about is feasibility.
Yeah.
Being an engineer in the commercial and industrial side of it, the first thing you do is you get a feasibility study done, meaning how practical and how doable is this project.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just because it's a piece of land with some dirt on it doesn't mean you can do what you think you're going to do.
Yeah.
You need to look at where's the water meter coming from, where's the electricity coming from.
Yeah.
Copper's at a record high. So if you're running a 50-foot run from center point to your property, that's one cost. If you're running 125 foot, it's a different cost.
Different cost. Yeah, it could change the whole game.
That's just to turn the light on, right? You got to think about that. In the city of Houston, you have what's called max coverage, which is the amount of impervious area that you can cover. That changes what you could build on that lot. If it's a 65% max coverage, that tells you the footprint that you could put on it. That might not give you enough square footage to make an actual comp for that area, right? Damn. You may can only put a duplex, you may only be able to put a single family townhome where the comp is only justifying flats, 3-2s, duplexes.
Yes.
Man, that's not knowledge is everything when it comes to that, man. Because you're talking about this is raw land that you're purchasing, right?
Exactly.
It ain't never been nothing on it, so you don't really know ain't did. Damn.
No, and then see, and
you don't know where the sewer tie-in is. You don't know where the meters are. You don't know if you're gonna have to build a retention pond or do an underground, water retention. All that stuff comes into place.
No, and see, the thing about it is, Larry and I know you've worked with agents over at Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm. We've had a long-term professional relationship with you, but for those agents that have never worked with you before and are being inundated with buyer leads saying that I want to invest $60,000 in a lot, can you help me find a distressed property? What advice do you have for those realtors who don't have experience as far as helping people find those kind of homes, and what type of services do you provide to those agents that you partner with to make sure that they are able to help their clients out to the best of their ability?
So the feasibility study is one.
Is the first thing.
Yeah, that's the
he
first
say
step.
that's the first thing.
That's literally
That's
the first
important,
step.
though. That kind of cuts through a lot of it too.
Absolutely.
Right. As a buyer or a seller, right? If you're a seller, you get that done, and you can have those questions proactively when someone's coming to look at the property. You can already say, I know that this is my max coverage. I know you're going to spend this on your meter. I know that center point's 12 weeks out on gas. If you've done that study up front,
yes,
you already know that. Just like another thing we talked about briefly offline is the inspection report.
Yes.
The feasibility study as far as new development and the inspection report kind of work hand in hand in that function.
Yeah.
If you get that TREC inspection done prior to selling the house, well, you know what's going to show up.
Right.
Because those inspectors are following a certain criteria.
Yeah.
So as a seller, I pay the inspector independently to do that study. He's going to give me that report. now I pretty much know what everybody's going to come back with. You can make the decision proactively to address the issues that have to be addressed, and you can also know that they're going to come back to you and say, hey, fix this, this, and this for this amount of money. You already have your answer, right? Yeah. What's the game in negotiation? Who names the number first is who loses.
That's right. That's right.
But if you've done that, you got your number and their number before the negotiation even started.
Absolutely.
Dang, the game, man.
So at Ferguson Solution, if somebody were to reach out to you after they've gotten a preliminary inspection report on a house they're considering selling, how would that first consultative meeting go with you guys?
Two ways. We can review the inspection report prior to you. We can review the inspection report after you get it, right? And I will let you know based on the area, based on the IRC, which is the International Residential Construction Codes, what's applicable, what's just a subjective thing, because that inspector, it's a subjective opinion, right?
Right.
That's right.
The biggest thing you get in Houston is they're always going to tell you that, oh, these breakers are not up to code. Well, the code changed in 2008.
Okay.
It was called, the number in the IRC dictates the year that it was released, right? So right now we're on IRC 2012.
Yeah.
Then we moved to 2018. 18 happened because of Harvey. So all of the shoddy practices that happened during Harvey made them revise the building code.
Yep.
But it's not being enforced because we're still trying to catch up, right?
Yep.
That's the game.
Right.
So any house that was built prior to 2008 in the city of Houston does not have to have ground fault circuit interrupter breakers.
Okay. Yeah.
As agents, you see that on every report.
Every report. Yeah. Yeah.
If that house was built prior to 2008, it's grandfathered. It's not necessary.
Yeah.
If it was built
Interesting.
after that, then it's an issue.
Right.
People don't know that.
Who would know, right?
No one
Absolutely.
knows that. So
Right.
you get someone that says, "Oh, go change these breakers." One breaker's like $30 a piece. The other one's $80.
Yeah.
You got 30 of them in the panel.
Goodness.
He said you got 30 in the
There's 30
panel.
of them in the panel.
Yeah.
Right.
So I've seen people lose a home because you're telling this guy, go change all these breakers, and he has 3 other offers at a full price.
Yeah.
Well, good luck to you.
Yeah.
You're going to go to the next house and find out that it's the same exact thing.
Over and over and over.
Wow.
Right. Especially in the same neighborhood.
Especially it's same neighborhood, same area. Like that thing is more about the time frame more so than the area, right?
Right.
Now you talk about area, certain areas that are more like moisture content ridden, you're gonna have foundation issues.
Yeah.
So every house you walk in the neighborhood, you're gonna see those little fault lines in the corners. You're gonna see the little crack under the window.
Yeah.
The door might lean a little bit.
Yeah.
It's gonna be every house over there. So if your inspection report tells you there's foundation issues, that's valid. But that doesn't mean you can go down the street and it'll be any different.
It'll be any different.
If you are committed to that
Same
area,
soil over
Right. there.
understand it's the same dirt.
Yeah.
That's just
Right.
the issue that you're gonna have,
Yeah.
right? So if you committed to that area, understand that you're buying that thing. If you
doubt
don't want
about it.
that, then you got to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Right. So that's area, that's building code, that's structure, building materials. You know what I mean? Everything that was built in the same time frame was built the same code. Everything that's built in the same area was built the same way.
Wow.
And what makes that so profound is that not only do, as an individual seller, people not consider that, because when you live in a home and you're selling it, it's almost like a part of the family.
Yeah, it's
in
a
way.
sentimental thing.
It's almost an emotional thing in a way. And for you to be able to bring people back and ground them in reality,
Yep.
so that they can understand, no, you don't have the lemon house on the block. Every single home in this neighborhood is going to have, if not exactly the same issues, similar issues.
Some
I
similar
think-
issues, right?
Right.
So
I think it's enough to put.
completely answer your question.
Yes.
We can either do the feasibility study in advance if it's like ground up or new construction, or the inspection consultation after the fact to let you know what's real, what's subjective, and what probably definitely needs to get fixed.
Man, I appreciate you so much, because and Larry will be able to tell you this as well, is that especially those who are investing the first time, those first time buyers, first time sellers, and first time investors, they're ready, willing, and able. It's just sometimes they need that education,
Right.
and they need to be able to consult someone with your expertise and knowledge base to be able to feel comfortable making those type of commitments. So I thank you so much for sharing. When we come back from our break, I want to talk to you a little bit about the origins of Ferguson Solution, who motivates you and inspires you from an entrepreneurial space. You gave us a little bit of background as far as your family dynamic, but I would like for you to go a little bit into how
Yeah, I'm gonna throw y'all in there too.
that family dynamic
We'll
helps
get
to
into
motivate
that.
you to take your business to the next
We'll
level.
get into all of that.
I want to thank everybody for tuning into the Prime Real Estate Network podcast. The Texas Real Estate King and I will be right back after you hear from our sponsors.
I'm serial entrepreneur Larry W. Brooks, and I'd like to personally invite you to take a closer look at the Pure Hustle clothing brand, along with several books that I've authored to take entrepreneurs, small business owners to the next level of their business. So please take a look at shoplwb.com. How do you survive?
3 years ago, I set out on a mission to create the blueprint for how we could go into our own neighborhoods, buy blocks, renovate them, and combat the negative effects of gentrification. Today, that vision is reality. Our project is located in the heart of the historic Lyons Avenue Business District in 5th Ward of Houston. Lyons Avenue was once a thriving black business district with businesses and commerce. However, after desegregation, that all changed. Now, we are recreating that legacy. These buildings are 100 years old. We just gave them a new life. This house was built in 1925 and was vacant for years. It's now a podcast studio and is rented out as an event space for everything from engagement parties to TV commercials, music videos. City Council even had meetings here. We've had birthday parties. We've had baby showers. And the $5,000 to $10,000 a month generated in this building.
This is Prime Real Estate Rick, and I'm here to present to you this week's Prime Real Estate Network Home Buyer Insider. This beautiful 4-bedroom, 2 and 1.5 bath home is located in the highly sought after Hanover Forest community in North Harris County. This beautiful property can be you and your family's private sanctuary from all the hustle and bustle of big city living. Reach out to the Texas Real Estate King, Mr. Larry W. Brooks, or myself, Mr. Prime Real Estate Ric Davis, to schedule you and your family's private showing today. Welcome back to the Prime Real Estate Network podcast. I'm your host, Ric Davis. If you don't follow me on Instagram, I invite you to do so at Prime Real Estate Rick. My co-host here is the Texas Real Estate King, Mr. Larry W. Brooks. If you don't follow him on Instagram, what you been doing? A man's a world traveler and a world-class entrepreneur, man. Y'all better tap in and get your life together, man. How you been enjoying this week's show, Larry?
Oh, man, it's amazing, man. You know, it's gems that's being dropped that we've never even heard of. Like, I mean, I've been in the industry and been around a few people, but when you get someone that's certified in knowing each and every last one of these steps, even like offline, I was asking a question about my own property that I'm like, I don't know how to fix that. So, you know, just being able to have a friend that knows that and just being able to drop gems. Those of you that are watching the show, y'all most definitely want to get plugged in. So make sure you got your pen and paper out when he drops his information on how to follow him and how to contact him and his team.
Hey, look, and I want to introduce this week's guest. If you are a professional realtor, a broker, or an aspiring real estate professional, this fine gentleman needs to be a part of your power team.
Has to be.
Get his contact info, lock him in, because if you don't need him now, you're going to need him tomorrow. And if you don't need him tomorrow, you'll need him next month. So let's make sure we tap in with this week's guest. Is Mr. Keith Ferguson, the owner and founder of Ferguson Solution LLC. How you doing, brother?
Pretty good. I appreciate y'all, man.
No. You was dropping so
many.
You're
natural for this, man.
Hey, no. He definitely the one, bro.
He was like, I'm waiting to get him this game. They don't even know what I know.
I don't talk. I don't talk. I don't go outside. You gotta be tapped in, right? So you talked about what it took to get the commitment. Everybody can't get it. Yeah. You gonna get it.
I appreciate
because you sent me a text. I didn't know what we was talking. I just text y'all back today. What are we talking about? It didn't matter. You told me you wanted me to be here, so I'm here.
No. And then I gotta ask you this, Keith, because for those who didn't see the first segment of his interview, where were you and how were you late? But Keith gave us some invaluable game and expertise. And I gotta ask you, because the thing that's most impressive about your organization is that it is a one-stop shop.
Yes, sir.
You talked about your consultative services. You talked about how you can mentor. You talked about how you can educate. But just share with our audience about the team of building professionals that you have around you and some of the type of projects that you've supervised and some of the type of builds that you've completed.
For sure. So I don't like doing what's considered bragging, but one of my other associates, he said, look, don't dim your light to make somebody else feel comfortable.
Come on, man.
Come on now.
We got you on here.
Come on, man. The real deal.
Trying to get that. So if you pay attention, the little goofy thing in my logo, shout out to my boy Cosmo, is a
what up, Cosmo? Cosmo done did some stuff for me too.
We all tapped in, right?
Right.
So the spider web came from the network, right? Because again, I had my stepdad around who honestly from the dirt to the sheetrock to the shingles.
Yeah.
It's not a building concept that he doesn't understand.
Yeah.
Then I had, my best friend Rail, his dad, we really think he retired CIA or not really retired. Scary intelligent.
Yeah.
That's him. So I absorbed that game. I had some accountants around. Like I said, my older cousin Nicole, Reverend Daniel, that's right down the road with Warrior Electric.
Yeah.
That's my guy that I call, and he answers and he gives me that. So I was able to put that network together and figure out that if I just double down on what I'm good at and build that team around me, I could be a solution. Which is why you don't have an S on the end.
Yeah.
You ain't got to make multiple solutions. It's just one. It's one solution. Ferguson.
No
You did so. So that's how that came about. And as far as the projects, like I said, I went to U of H for engineering. Even some of the guys that are still doing this, Kevin Shelton at Park Street. Junius Williams,
Shout
my
out
boy
to Kev.
TJ.
They've been on the show.
Me, Junius, and TJ all came out of the Cullen College of Engineering and all into real estate now.
Yeah,
Because that's
okay.
just naturally how they went.
Yeah.
So the projects, I've done waste management, LNG conversion. I've done the Motiva crude expansion on the industrial side.
Yeah.
On the more retail type side, every Edward Jones and H&R Block you've seen since Harvey.
Yeah.
We do the build out on that.
Oh, wow. That's deep.
Okay.
The largest service provider for Home Depot and Lowe's for exterior installs like Hardy siding, windows, doors, and roofing.
Damn, that's what's up.
And then, of course,
Yeah.
personally, right, it's the residential investment. So most of the residential projects are projects that I either own or partner in.
Yeah.
And even the first one, Chica, right? When Chica came over to you
Shout out
guys,
Chica Mama, Brooks and
Yeah.
Davis Real Estate Firm.
exactly. So
Right.
my house on Seabrook, I bought that house from the owners. Did our deal, learned all this the hard way, figured out of my own hard money lender,
Yeah.
put my bread into it, talked to Chica, and I was like, hey, you helped me get this deal,
Yeah.
you helped me sell it, and you work for my boy.
No doubt
So if
about
there's
it. I
any
remember
brokerage
it.
I'm gonna deal with,
Yeah.
Gotta
Here
keep
we
it
go.
close, baby. You gotta keep it
remember
close.
keep it close. So
Right.
me and Chica put that deal together 360 from the time we walked in and did the feasibility study to the day I closed.
Yeah.
So that kind of single solution and vertical integration is what I saw the value in. You could be efficient.
Yeah.
One phone call versus a bunch of them.
Yeah.
And that's what I focus on. So
That's
I build a team, I build a network. I know what I'm good at. I know what I'm not good at. And what I'm not good at, I bring somebody around. I familiarize myself enough to know if you're trying to,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And then we go from there.
Please, man, share all your contact info. Let everybody out in the audience know
Yeah, of
how
course.
they can tap in with you and schedule some time to sit down, because what you're doing is invaluable work. It's going to be the type of thing that leaves a lasting imprint on the city of Houston way after we're all gone.
Yeah.
Because helping these people get these projects out of their mind's eye and have them come to fruition, building a quality project can last hundreds of years.
For sure.
Yeah.
So the things that you're doing, the way that you're helping people generate generational wealth is something that I'm sure a lot of people may not in their upbringing ever thought that they'd have an opportunity to tap into.
Yeah.
So what it is that you're doing is just changing lives on an astronomical level. So please share all your contact info with everyone so they can tap in with you today and always.
So of course the Instagram is at KFergoBills. The website Ferguson Solution LLC.com. Those are the easiest ways to reach out to me. I'm accessible. I'm available. I'm just not outside because I'm working.
Yeah.
Right.
So
No doubt. We getting
and
it
of
done.
course there's a ton of real. To be frank, the fastest way to get in touch with me is through one of those agents or realtors that you know is a part of the network. So that's anybody in the Braden Real Estate Group, anybody at Brooks and Davis.
Yeah.
If you reach out to Chica, you reach out to Justin, Jermisha, Nikki,
That's
Monet,
what's up, yeah.
They
got
all
it.
It's relationships,
Every
man.
name
You
I
gotta-
just said is in my favorites.
Yeah,
so
right.
even if I'm asleep, that phone will still ring.
Man, that's what's up. No
Hey,
doubt
man,
about
I want to thank you so much, man. Larry, we talk about this stuff a lot offline, but could you just share with the audience your passion for helping people reinvest in these opportunity zones in Houston, areas that we grew up in, might have moved away from, but now have the opportunity to reinvest in those areas where we once called home?
Well, here's the vision, right? Like, I grew up watching this regentification thing take place, and we were not, as a culture, we were not able to take part in it.
Right.
And now just to see where we've came, that we're able to financially become our own hard money lenders, financially have our own developers in the communities that's allowing us to be able to take part in it. Like, just to see us being able to be a part of it, and then one day looking at the financial future and being wide open to get to wealth is important to me. Even I just when I talk to Nikki and them, I love how the Braden Group has grown and been strengthened. We got that. We got the legacy real estate firm. We just got so many people.
Please forgive me. My boy Derek Bowles, Legacy Real Estate
Yeah.
Group.
Come on,
Just
man.
seen
Debo's
funny. I just seen
Prime Real Estate
Debo's
Network
about an hour
alumni.
ago.
Big shout out. homie.
We've been, so Legacy wasn't Legacy Real Estate Group. Legacy was Legacy Entertainment.
Really now?
With Bowles, AE, and my right hand man Juice.
Yeah.
At
on,
the
man.
Vault, at Martell's, and every other club in Midtown.
Yeah.
Come on, but
So-
see, this is the evolution of the game.
Yeah,
right here,
exactly.
man. Come
So
on.
yeah, no,
Indeed.
I didn't say Legacy, but for sure.
Oh, no
Legacy.
doubt, man. I seen Debo's this morning, man.
That's
So,
that's another
yeah.
one that's in my favorites, right? So
I know, man.
for sure.
We got to make sure that we have you out at some Brooks and Davis events because I know you're on such the grind that people can't just catch you out socially. But I know there's going to be so many members of our audience that will want to meet and greet you in person, shake your hand, get a business card, or exchange one with you, man. So we got to get you out at a B&D event in the upcoming future. Mr. Texas Real Estate King, bro.
Yeah.
You know, we at the part of the show where we share with the audience
Yeah.
what's going on this weekend in the
Yeah.
world of Brooks and Davis and Mr. Larry Brooks, man. So for those that want to meet, greet, interact with you and the members of the team, man, what is it that's going on this weekend?
They just got to follow that social media, man. Follow that social media. You see all the flyers that I put the plugs out on. And other than that, I might be at a city near you or a state near you.
And look, and we always want to, before we sign off, give a big, huge shout out to all of the students studying at Champions Real Estate School. If you are an aspiring real estate professional, you want to learn more about Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm, you want to learn more about the Prime Real Estate Network, reach out to us at our website at brooksanddavis.com. We would love to share with you and make you a part of the Brooks and Davis family, man. On behalf of myself, Ric Davis, and the Texas Real Estate King, Mr. Larry W. Brooks, we want to thank Mr. Keith Ferguson
Yes, indeed.
for holding it down with us this week, man. Until next week on a Thursday in the noon hour, everyone out there in the audience, please be safe and be blessed.